Today we're going to run through all the add-ons, modules, and pouches that I use with my Wotancraft pilot bags. So let's get into it. I have a review of both the Pilot Messenger bag and also the backpack if you want to check them out. I'll have a playlist and a link for it down below in the video description. Also, if you're not already following my Facebook page, please do consider it. I post all sorts of behind the scenes photos, pictures of things that I use day to day, and little updates between reviews like the one that I'm going to show right now for the new Fidlock clip that Wotancraft came out with for the Pilot Messenger bag. I switched to this recently and it's an awesome little upgrade for what's really been one of my favorite camera bags lately. Alright, so as you can see, they actually have a ton of modules and I've got 11 here that work well with the Pilot system. So let's go through them each in depth. We'll show how they can be used with and without the larger bags, as well as give you the prices for each one. This is not a review necessarily, but a kind of tutorial or walkthrough. Also, wherever you see it, these all use the same waxed canvas as the bags do, the ultra strength thread, YKK zippers, and snap-on buckles, medical grade microfiber or cotton lining, and other materials that are in line with that Pilot design. Alright, so this first category are essentially meant to be stuck inside your bag on that microfiber Velcro surface. They're stiff-backed little modules and they have the very fine injected molded short hook Velcro, which you see throughout the Wotancraft bags, which is really nice and surprisingly strong. And these aren't all the variations that are available, but just what I have on hand to show you. Alright, so the zipperless pocket is essentially what it sounds like. It's a pocket, again, that you can Velcro onto the inside of your bag and it has no zipper, hence the zipperless pocket module. Now, in terms of size, what I have in here right now is the Tascam DR40X, and it just fits in there, as you can see. So you've got the top flap, which does kind of overlap with the bottom flap a little bit, so you get that kind of protection over the surface of what you've got in there, and it's just perfectly the size. This is probably similar to like a Zoom H4n if you have one of those or have experience with it. So that's what you get in terms of the size. The material, again, on the outside is that canvas, and on the inside you have a nice cotton lining. This could also be a great place to store things like these little pocket LEDs, which are very popular. This is a rather large one compared to some of those on the market, but you could slide a few of those in here really nice and easily. Great place to put those inside of a bag. So the second module is what they call the battery and SD card fastener module, obviously meant especially for batteries and SD cards. But these three sections down the bottom here could also hold things like little tools for your tripod plate, and the larger sections, of course, can hold things like cables. This is my iPhone cable here. These have elastic straps on them to hold everything in place, and there is a kind of rubbery thread that is sewn into here to help hold things in place. This one in particular has three smaller sections on the bottom and two larger sections on the top. Now this next one is called the cord organizer, and they have one larger strap on the bottom instead of those three smaller sections for SD cards. In the pictures on the website, they show you could hold like a laptop charger in here, one of the big bricks, the square bricks. I find it perfect for something like this little pocket LED. Again, a great place to tuck one of those in there. And then I've got things like just small cables up top here, and even depending on the way that you pack the inside of your bag, something like a little lav mic could go right in here. So it's a great organization for littler things like that, so they're not just flapping around inside your bag. Then finally, we've got the simplest and smallest one, the lens cap holder, and again, it does exactly what it sounds like it should do. It holds your lens cap. Of course, you could use it for other things as well, but this will hold up to about an 82mm lens cap, nice and easy right there. So when you take your camera out of your bag, of course, you're going to remove your lens cap, and instead of shoving them into your pockets and then searching for them after, I find this is a great thing to have on the inside of your bag, just to tuck that away, and then when you put your camera away, it's right there. You know exactly where it is. So these are now using the clip and belt loop attachments on the Pilot bag line, but since they are smaller, they're not really meant to be used as standalone items like the next third category that we will talk about. I have two here, just very simple. This first one they call the add-on coin pouch module. As you can see in the back, you've got one of these YKK snap-on clips here, and you've got two little loops here where you could attach it depending on how you want it to fit onto your bag, but just one clip there, very simple. And on the front, you've got this kind of mesh material, but on the inside, you could fit anything. Of course, obviously coins, like they say by the name, but I would never use that. I have a section for that in my wallet. but it's great for earbuds, and it even fits my Palm Quiet earbud case really perfectly in there. But you could throw little batteries in there, you could throw any little accessory, any little small extra cables and things like that in there, things that you maybe want quick access to on the outside of your bag. A surprisingly useful little add-on here. Next up, you have what they call the add-on phone pouch module, and this attaches with 2 clips on the back to those YKK snap-on buckles, and there are, again, several positions you could attach those to. You could only use one if you needed to, but that's how that attaches. Otherwise, it's very, very simple. This can hold up to an iPhone 12 Pro, I believe. I'll put the exact dimensions of what it can hold on screen, but you can see inside just a very simple little pouch to put little extras in. Again, those little pocket LEDs could go great in here. Extra cables, even batteries, things like that. A lot of stuff that you could put in here besides obviously a phone. As I mentioned in my review for the Pilot backpack, because these are small and they only use 1 or 2 clips, they can attach pretty much anywhere onto the outside of that backpack, or even the Pilot messenger bag, which has those straps to attach these kind of accessories. A lot more flexibility where you can put these. So this final category of add-ons or modules, or whatever you'd like to call them at this point, Wotancraft just calls them pouches or bags. They're made to work, again, with that clip and belt loop system on the Pilot line of bags, but they can also be used with a detachable strap on their own. They are more expensive, ranging from about $45 to $150 within this range that I have to show you today, but they are definitely the most versatile beside the bags themselves. They can all be used with the modules or add-ons or even additional pouches if you want. Today I have 5 here to show you. 2 of them you may have already seen if you watched my Pilot messenger bag review, but let's check them out. So first up, we've got this drawstring pouch here, and it's pretty much just as it says. It's just a pouch, a simple empty pouch with a drawstring here to pull it tight. And I think this is originally meant to hold a water bottle. They say it can hold up to a 500 milliliter water bottle. Of course, that depends on the shape of the bottle. But I found it also useful just to throw an extra lens in there, of course, depending on the size of the lens. But, you know, to carry around one extra lens either on the outside of your bag, or using this strap on the side here and this strap and this detachable shoulder strap, you can hook that onto there and just carry this around by itself as well. So if you're at an event or something like that where you don't want to carry around your whole bag, maybe you have a camera on a strap and you want one more lens that you can switch out quickly, you can throw that lens in here and then just carry this around your shoulder as well. So very useful for things like that. Around the top here, you've got that soft mesh material, and on the front you do have a few loops that theoretically you could attach one of these smaller add-ons to if you wanted to. Again, a lens and a little cable or whatever battery if you want to carry that around as well, of course, very useful. On the back, you've got a row of those belt loops here for the YKK snap-on buckles, and that's pretty much all there is to it. Next up is the zipper pouch, and again, it's exactly as the name describes. It's a pouch that, instead of a drawstring like the last one, has a zipper on top. There's not really any organization inside, but you do get this mesh or net pocket on the front, which is actually the perfect size for something like a color checker passport, something that I always want to have right ready to grab on the outside of my bag, or if I'm carrying this alone, because again, you've got these little loops on the side to use that detachable strap if you want to carry it on its own. And I do want to point out that there's one more loop on the top here, so you could attach this in a different position that could maybe make it more of a slings type fit. And then you've got, of course, those YKK snap-on buckles on the back here to attach it to the Pilot messenger bag or the Pilot backpack, or even some of, again, the larger add-ons that we're going to talk about. You do again get some of the loops on the front as well if you want to attach some of those smaller add-ons, or of course anything that has any kind of clip you could attach on here, a carabiner or something, some keychains you could attach on here. So these loops of course are useful for more than just these snap-on buckles. Alright, this is where they start to get a bit larger and more complex. This is the first in what they call their Fighter series. There's 3 of these that I have to show you. This is the Fighter 01 accessory pouch, and it has, as you can see, this front flap with a buckle on it to cover up a pocket that runs most of the front side of the bag. This is a good size here if you want to compare it to my hand, or even if you want to compare it to the previous zipper pouch module. Inside this front pocket you could fit things like lens filters. I've got a few in here, as well as of course another color checker passport. Just things that you want quicker access to right there in the front. They often talk about putting a phone or something in there, but personally for me, I always carry my phone in my pocket. But of course you could put that in there as well. It's kind of a more quick access section right there. And then you have a zipper that actually runs almost the entire side and top of the bag that's hidden under this flap here. So it does have some protection there. So open that and the bag will open up quite wide. So you can see inside of this accessory, you've got a lot more organization. So on one side, you've got that nice soft microfiber fabric here. Boom, you could throw in one of your Velcro add-ons right there. You've got 2 net or mesh pockets here for organization for things like, a notebook maybe. You could clip on a pen to here. I tried to throw as much as I could in here to show you. I've got focus gear. I don't know if I have anything else in there. Obviously, I tried to fill all these up as much as I could just to show you an example of what could fit in here, but it's really going to depend on you. And then on the other side, you've got a completely enclosed mesh pocket that has 2 zippers on it. These are for the same pocket. If you unzip both of these, I could stick my hand straight through there, so it's only one pocket. But you've got access from either side, again, depending on if you're wearing this as a sling maybe. Access from one side or the other could be easier or more difficult for you. But again, in here, for now, I've put my memory card little protection case here. But you could throw, again, whatever you want. And one thing to note, though, is that if you do have this pocket and these pockets and the pocket on the front, sorry, the front is on this side. If you have all of those full, then it is a bit tight. If you want to use this whole entire main body as storage for something a bit larger, then maybe you don't want to pack these pockets quite as full, because when you close the zipper, it is going to be a bit tight. But if you pack these pockets pretty tight, you can still close the zipper. So depending on how you want to use it, you can use the bigger main section or the smaller organization, but it doesn't seem too flexible in terms of using both. On this larger module, you've got 4 buckles on the back to attach this. So this works best on the Pilot backpack, where it does have the space for something like this. It could go on the outside of that backpack or inside of that front panel, that front flap. Again, if you watch the review, you'll know what I'm talking about. But of course, you do also have this removable strap, which you could loop through the top and the side if you want to use it like a sling on a little bit of an angle, or just through the top if you want to hang it down straight. And you could use this as a standalone bag, and it has quite a lot of organization. It can hold a decent amount. So if you are not looking to really carry a huge bag, but you want to carry a bunch of smaller accessories with you, again, if you're on a shoot and you don't want to carry the bag, but you do need batteries, you need other things to bring along with you, this could be a nice option to just sling over your shoulder and not take up too much space. Next up is the Fighter O2, a travel pouch, and that's exactly what it is. As far as I can see, it's a travel pouch. As you can see, it's the biggest of these add-ons that we have in terms of actual size, or at least close to the biggest. And this, again, if you look on the back real quick, has those 4 clips, so it's meant to be put onto the inside flap or the front flap of the Pilot backpack. Once again, though, you can, of course, use this as a standalone bag if you want, with that removable clip-on strap through one of these loops, or even carry it with this little loop on the top here. In terms of storage and organization, it's very, very simple. You've got a zipper that runs along one side just on the bottom, so quick access to some of the stuff inside of there. And you've also got a zipper on the other side that runs around the entire side and front of the bag, so you can pull this wide open. And I've just thrown a muslin backdrop into here to show you an example, but I think this is essentially meant for clothes. You can put a jacket, you can put clothes in here, you can put shoes in here, which is nice to have a dedicated compartment for shoes that you can attach to your bag. This is just, again, a muslin backdrop. You can see it's pretty large and it fit in there no problem. So a jacket should fit in there no problem. Shoes, even fairly large shoes, should fit in there no problem. But there is no real organization on the inside there. There's none of that microfiber material in there. So if you want to put the Velcro add-ons in there, it's not going to exactly work with this one. But this is a travel pouch. So again, to add on clothes to your bag, to add on shoes, things that you might want to bring with you when you're traveling, together with camera gear, or just as a standalone bag, this is going to be perfect for that. And it can fit quite a lot, and then strap right onto your backpack, so you don't have to carry multiple bags with you, which I think is just really, really convenient. And finally, we've got the Fighter O3 Rider Bag. Now, the name and the design of this one is one of the coolest. This is the most expensive of all of these, but it kind of does have the most to offer. Flipping it over to the back for a second here, it's a bit different from the others in that it doesn't have those YKK snap-on buckles. The way this is meant to attach to your bag is actually on the bottom of that Pilot bag. These little clips here will clip onto the 2 loops on the bottom of the bag, and then these straps here will go around completely to loop onto the bag itself. So this will sit, boom, just like this, right on the bottom of your backpack. So this part will be touching the bottom of your backpack. If you don't have it attached to your backpack, these straps will then loop into itself, and you can use this to pull this down tighter if you have less in this and you want to kind of hold it nice and compact. This will kind of compress the bag down for you. And then they do also have the loops on the front. If you want to attach some of these smaller modules, you can attach more than one on here. Of course, something smaller like the coin pouch or the phone pouch would fit on here perfectly, but even something a bit larger like the zipper pouch here could fit onto the front of that, no problem at all. So you could use this quite well as a standalone bag. If you do want to use this as a standalone bag, once again, you've got these loops here. You can just slide this removable strap into and carry it around. You've also got a little handle here that can fit your hand in there if you want to just carry it by hand. Before we get into this though, if you do want to use this as a camera bag to put your camera or lenses in, you can use the quick draw camera insert, which is originally meant for the Easy Rider. It will fit into here and give you some more traditional camera organization. I don't have it here to show you, but I'll show you a picture. It's very, very simple and it fits in here perfectly. So you've got this very nice weather resistant YKK zipper here that runs along the top and the side of the bags, again for a nice wide open easy access. You can see inside of the bag here now I've just shoved some stuff in here to give it that form, the square form, but you can take those out of course. You can see here the front section of this bag is very soft, which means that if you put less in here, if you don't have that camera insert to hold its form, if you put less stuff in here, again clothes or something else, then you can use these straps once again to compress it down to take up less space if you don't need it. But it is rather spacious in there, as you can see from what I just took out and the pictures that I'll show you on screen as well. And the front section of this is just a cotton material, but the back does have that microfiber lining, which means that if you want to throw in some of these Velcro add-ons, you can do that of course. If you're using these larger ones, it doesn't quite fit two across, but it does fit one. And then of course there's still room for the lens cap add-on right there. So those will fit right in there if you want more organization on the inside of the bag. But you do also have a zipper that runs along here for a section that does fit something like an iPad mini 4. So that's more organization, as well as this little keychain holder here, a nice little clip to hold your keys or tools or something like that. I do think that this is, again, even more versatile because it is compatible with that camera insert. So that's it for what I've got. Of course, well, I tried to cover as much as I could here. The great part about these bags system is that you can probably find even more ways to use them depending on what your needs are and what you carry with you. These are the bags that I use day to day lately, and I've very happily used their Trooper bag before I got these, so I will easily give it my recommendation. But if you found this video helpful, please do consider giving it a thumbs up. Like, share, subscribe, all that good stuff, and I'll see you next time.